Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Carrick versus Arteta. Who will come out on top? Carrick will be in charge for this game against Arsenal. To Carrick's credit, he's done really well in the last two games. Ralph Rangnick is waiting for his work visa to be processed. Rangnick will be in charge for the game against Crystal Palace at the weekend. Yesterday, Rangnick was announced as Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Rangnick, before he was officially announced as Man United's interim manager, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Rangnick wants Amadou Haidara in January. He's valued at around £33 million. Of course, Rangnick knows the player really well because Rangnick has coached RB Leipzig before. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-1 draw with Chelsea. I thought it was a good point for Manchester United because Chelsea are a very good team. We saw Jadon Sancho score against Chelsea. Sancho's goal came from a mistake from Jorginho, but it was a lovely counter-attacking goal. You know, it was Jadon Sancho's first goal in the Premier League and his second goal in all competitions, because Sancho scored in the 2-0 win against Villarreal. We seem to be getting the best out of Jadon Sancho now. Revert back to when Man United had Solskjaer, they weren't getting the best out of Sancho because when we had Solskjaer was playing Sancho out of position and there was quite a few games Sancho didn't even play under Ole. Chelsea's goal came from Jorginho. It was from a penalty. Chelsea got the penalty for Aaron Wan-Bissaka's foul on Thiago Silva. I thought in the first half against Chelsea last Sunday, Man United were poor. You know, Chelsea were very dominant in the first half, but I thought Manchester United come to life in the second half. Manchester United are 8th in the Premier League at the moment, so it is a must-win game against Arsenal. Manchester United do have some players missing. Obviously, there's no Paul Pogba. He's out with a thigh injury. Pogba is out for the rest of the year. Varane, he's still out with a hamstring injury. Mason Greenwood, he's been out with COVID. Edison Cavani, he's out with injury. He was out with injury earlier on this season. Luke Shaw, he's been out with a concussion. Luke Shaw's missed the last 2 games. Obviously, Tellez has played ahead of him. Harry Maguire, he's suspended. I think Maguire has now got 2 games to serve. Maguire got sent off in the 4-1 defeat to Watford. As for Arsenal, they're coming into this game on the back of a 2-0 win against Newcastle. Arsenal responded well from the 4-0 defeat to Liverpool. Arsenal started the season very, very bad because they lost their first 3 league games. But since then, they've found some form. Arsenal's manager is Mikel Arteta. He's been Arsenal manager for almost 2 years. He's got a contract with Arsenal until 2023. He's won the FA Cup so far as Arsenal manager. Arsenal have won 14 FA Cups. Arsenal have won the most FA Cups. Before Arsenal, Arteta was a coaching assistant at Man City, so he did work alongside Pep Guardiola. Revert back to earlier on this season, I thought Mikel Arteta was going to get sacked. He was under serious pressure. I presume though some pressure would have eased off Arteta now. Before Arteta, Arsenal had Freddie Ljungberg. They had him in as temporary boss. Before then, Arsenal had Unai Emery. Unai Emery lasted around 18 months at Arsenal, and then Arsenal sacked him. Unai Emery almost won the Europa League when he was Arsenal manager, and before Unai Emery they had Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger was a very long-serving manager. He endured 22 years at Arsenal. I reckon he had around 12 good years out of the 22 years he was there. Manchester United and Arsenal is not the fixture it used to be. It was the most iconic fixture, when we had Alex Ferguson and when Arsenal had Arsene Wenger, Man United had Ferguson for around 26 years and Arsenal had Wenger for 22 years. 2 longest serving managers. This fixture last season, Arsenal won 1-0. And that was Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. So they seldom beat us at Old Trafford. The game at the Emirates last season in the league was 0-0. Arsenal have got a pretty decent squad. It's not the best in the league, but it's still pretty decent. I think Gabriel Martinelli is very good. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. I like Saka as well. He's a good player. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. Saka is out with injury at the moment, so that's bad news from an Arsenal perspective. Arsenal have also got that Edward Nketiah. Sorry if I've pronounced his name wrong. At one point he was out on loan with Leeds. He's good. Arsenal have also got Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang is one of Arsenal's best players. Revert back to a while ago, Manchester United tried to get Aubameyang. There was one point where Aubameyang was refusing to sign a new contract. Aubameyang's had his good periods at Arsenal. He's also had his bad periods as well. Arsenal got Aubameyang a few years ago from Borussia Dortmund. They paid around 50 odd million pounds. Arsenal have also got Lacazette. You know, he's had his good games at Arsenal. He's also had his bad games as well. Arsenal got Lacazette from Lyon a few years ago. Sometimes Lacazette and Aubameyang can play well together. Arsenal have also got that Pepe. I don't rate Pepe at all. I think he's been very, very poor for Arsenal. I think a lot of Arsenal fans expected him to do much better at Arsenal than he has. Arsenal paid around £72 million for him from Lille. He was far superior at Lille to how he has been at Arsenal. Arsenal have also got that Lokonga, who I really like. He's made an impact. They got him last summer from Anderlecht. Arsenal have also got Thomas Partey, who I like a lot. They got him from Atletico Madrid. They've also got Martin Odegaard. They got him from Real Madrid. They've got Smith Rowe. He predominantly plays as a number 10. Smith Rowe's a very, very good player. They've also got Granit Xhaka. To be honest with you, I don't really rate Granit Xhaka. He's out with injury at the moment. At one point, he was having disputes over the captaincy, was Xhaka. Arsenal have also got that Nuno Tavares. He's made an impact. They got him last summer. Arsenal have also got Ben White. He's a centre-half. I think he's been a very poor signing for Arsenal so far. I expected him to do better. I thought he was very, very good at Brighton, was Ben White. I think Arsenal overpaid for Ben White. They paid around £50 million for him. Arsenal have also got that Pablo Mari. Don't really know much about him, to be honest with you. They've also got Gabriel Magalhaes. I think they got him from Lille. At one point, Manchester United tried to get him. I think Rob Holding's still at Arsenal. Yeah, he is. Arsenal have also got Callum Chambers. He's had a few injuries as an Arsenal player. They've also got Kolasinac. He's out with injury at the moment. They've got Ainsley, Maitland-Niles. Arsenal have also got Kieran Tierney. I highly rate Kieran Tierney. I think he's done really, really well at Arsenal. He has sustained a few injuries as an Arsenal player. I also liked Kieran Tierney when he was in Scotland with Celtic. Arsenal's first choice goalkeeper is Aaron Ramsdale. I've been very, very impressed with Ramsdale since he's gone to Arsenal. Arsenal got him from Sheffield last summer. Another goalkeeper Arsenal have got, and that's Leno. I think they've also got that Matty Ryan as well. They got him from Brighton. So there you go. You know, Arsenal have spent quite a bit of money under the Mikel Arteta era. Let's put into the equation, you know, Arteta is inheriting, you know, some players that Unai Emery brought in. Have Arsenal still got any players there from when they had Arsene Wenger? Arsenal have let players go. Revert back to last summer. They offloaded David Luiz. They also offloaded Willian. they did initially get that duo from Chelsea. Arsenal also offloaded Lucas Torreira last summer. They also offloaded Hector Bellerin. There's other players as well they've offloaded. A few years ago they offloaded Koscielny, they offloaded Lichtsteiner, they offloaded that Socrates, they offloaded Aaron Ramsey a few years ago now. They let Aaron Ramsey go on a free transfer to Juventus. Aaron Ramsey was very, very good at Arsenal. He endured, was it 12, 13 years at Arsenal? He was a very long-serving player. So there you go. Manchester United have done transfer business before with Arsenal. If you do remember rightly, we got Alexis Sanchez off them. Sanchez was actually very poor when he was at Man United, but he was very, very good when he was an Arsenal player. When we had Sanchez, he must have been on around £500,000 a week. He was actually included in a swap deal for Mkhitaryan, wasn't he, at the time? We also got Robin Van Persie off them. Robin Van Persie was very good for Man United. He won Man United the league back in 2013, reflecting on the amount of goals he scored. Don't forget, a while ago, Arsenal got Danny Welbeck off us. But Arsenal, they're not as good as they used to be. Arsenal were one of the best back in 2004, because back in 2004 Arsenal went unbeaten all season in the Premier League. So reflecting on that, they are the Invincibles. No other team has done what Arsenal did in 2004. Manchester United's next game after Arsenal is Crystal Palace. Manchester United will look to get a permanent manager at the end of the season, and I think we'll either get Mauricio Pochettino or we'll get Erik ten Hag. Now, I have been talking with you a lot about Mauricio Pochettino recently. The other week, Pochettino came out and said that he's happy at PSG and he won't let the Man United rumours distract him. The other week, it said PSG rejected Manchester United's approach to appoint Mauricio Pochettino. But the other week it did mention that Pochettino is interested in the Manchester United job. And the Manchester Evening News came out and said that Man United are confident of appointing Mauricio Pochettino as their next permanent manager. And it did say that Man United agreed to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. He's a good manager, is Pochettino, even though he's hardly won anything. I think he has won a cup with PSG. He's got a full season left on his PSG contract. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial, because before Pochettino managed Tottenham, back in 2018, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and he almost won the league when he was at Tottenham. But analysing the vast majority of his 5.5 years when he was at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. Before, Pochettino managed Southampton as well. He only enjoyed the short tenure with Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and before he's managed Espanyol. Now, I recently gave you the news on Erik ten Hag, didn't I? Erik Ten Hag is said to be interested in the Manchester United job in the summer, and Ajax will not stand in his way if he wants to leave at the end of the season. Erik Ten Hag is Manchester United's alternative target to Pochettino, so if Man United can't get Pochettino, they'll look to get Erik Ten Hag. You've got to admire what Erik Ten Hag has done at Ajax. You know, he's won a few trophies with them. He's been Ajax manager now for around 4 years. He's got a contract with Ajax until 2023. Before Ajax, you know, he was at Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserve team, and before he managed Go Ahead Eagles. You know, Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Of course, Man United sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. I think that's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. Then, of course, Man United sacked Van Gaal after like 2 years or so. Man United did win the FA Cup under Van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he did win 3 trophies in his first season. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board. Because obviously the board weren't getting the players that Mourinho wanted to recommend in. And Mourinho had bad disputes with the players. And of course, just over a week ago, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. But like I say, Manchester United have been playing catch-up for the last 8 years or so now. Manchester United have not been the same team since Fergie retired, and obviously a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one will replicate what Ferguson did at Man United. Ferguson brought success to Man United because he won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Does take some managers time to settle in. Good job we didn't sack Ferguson in that 4 years where he didn't win anything, or Man United wouldn't have had any success now. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager as well, like I mentioned earlier. He enjoyed like a 26-year managerial tenure at Man United. Before Ferguson, Man United weren't that good, you know. We weren't that good under Ron Atkinson. We weren't good under Wolf McGuinness. And we weren't good under Franco Farrell. I think we actually got relegated under Franco Farrell. I think we got relegated in, what was it, 1973 or 74? You know, that's 40 odd years ago now. Manchester United are going to offload players next year. I think next year Martial's leaving. I think Mata's leaving next year as well. I think Cavani's leaving next year. I think Lingard's leaving next year. Just over a week ago now, it said that Jesse Lingard's future at Man United is in doubt after talks over a new contract collapsed. Lingard's contract at Man United expires next summer. Revert back to earlier on in the season, it said Lingard could leave Man United for just £10 million. Better to cash in for him though, rather than let him go on a free. Lingard doesn't get in the team. He's only made one start this season. That was West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. Now he's risen up our academy and stuff, and he's had his good periods at Man United. He's also had his bad periods as well. The other week it said West Ham want to re-sign Lingard on loan. He had a 4-month loan spell with West Ham last season and he made an impact. And before West Ham wanted Lingard last summer, but obviously West Ham were struggling to meet our 25 million asking price. And I heard as well the other week that Lingard wants to go abroad. I think next year Donny van de Beek could be leaving. You know, Van de Beek has not been given enough game time at Manchester United. I think the only way that he will stay is if he gets his opportunities under Ralph Rangnick. Obviously, Van de Beek wasn't getting his opportunities when we had Solskjaer, and reflecting on that, Van de Beek was frustrated. Van de Beek didn't start against Chelsea, but he did come on and he made an impact. He started ahead of Fernandes in the number 10 in the 2-0 win against Villarreal last week, and he did really well in that one. And he came on in the 4-1 defeat to Watford and he made an instant impact. Van de Beek scored in that game. That was only, though, his second goal for the club. I expected Van de Beek to play a lot more than he has done, because at the end of the day, Man United got him for 40 million. That was add-ons included. Man United paid around 35 million up front, and there was 5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek's got a contract with the club till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and Van de Beek is versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. But he's endured a difficult, 19 months at Man United. This season is his second full season at the club. I think there's a good chance that Matic is leaving the club next year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still gets his opportunities, and surprisingly enough, Matic has been ahead of Van de Beek in our midfield. I think Matic is the only predominant centre defensive mid we've got. Matic played against Chelsea, played alongside Fred and McTominay. I've always had my reservations about Matic, because he's always been a static midfielder, plus he's aging up. But despite that, you know, he has had his good games at United. Matic has been at Man United for 4.5 years now, got him from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Pogbino, he could be going next year as well. Tellez, Jones, Bailly, Dalot, I think they're going next year. And I think Dean Henderson is going out on loan. Not so long ago, Dean Henderson confirmed that he wants to go out on loan. Henderson doesn't get in goal now, does he? Because De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back last summer. Henderson's only been in goal for 1 game so far this season. That was West Ham in the Cup. But at one point, Henderson was out with COVID for a while. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.